We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Patrolling the Mojave.
Patrolling the Mojave? Almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Looks like break time's over. Here we go. Looks like break time's over. Here we go.
Oh.
Looks like break time's over. Who the hell are you? Better yet, what the hell are you doing in this cursed place? You know what? Forget it. It doesn't matter. Welcome to Camp Searchlight, the shittiest place on Earth. No, I'm not. Not yet, anyway. I'm Private Kyle Edwards, former NCR trooper. Couldn't you tell? That damn radiation bomb got me. I can't serve the NCR like this. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know how the NCR feels about ghouls. I'm here because I have nowhere else to go. Believe me, I'd love to leave. But I can't because I don't know what effect the radiation will have on me. Rad scorpions. Fuckers creep the hell out of me. I'm not going outside while they're still crawling around. Yeah, but I don't want to go feral. And that's probably what more radiation would do to me. Look, just leave me alone. I'm not going outside. Yeah? Not much, I'm afraid. What do you want to know? I know that this place was originally a mining town before the NCR took it over. I think they mined gold before the war. Sorry, I don't know much more than that. I don't really know the details of it. It all happened too quickly. I remember being hit by a blast of energy. Next thing I know, I wake up like this. I've been staying in this house ever since. I don't know much about what's going on outside, aside from the creatures that moved in since then. I'm guessing it's because I'm outside of the heavy radiation areas. I'm not going outside to find out, though. Are you sure about that? Nope. No way. I'm not going anywhere until I know they're gone. Thanks. Yeah. Are you sure about that? Maybe it's time for me to leave this place then. Any ideas where I can go? You're probably right. Here, take it. Are you sure about that? Maybe it's time for me to leave this place then. Any ideas where I can go? Are you sure he'll be okay with it? Not everyone is crazy about ghouls. Really? Thanks. I owe you one.
Nelson's back in our hands. I hope we can defend it.
You
this
know,
time.
if you were serving, you'd probably be halfway to general by now.
You're back. What can I do for you? Who's Private Edwards? If he's a ghoul, he should be put down. I can't let a rabid dog suffer. Sure. Thank you. Every tag you bring me is one more soldier at peace. Thank you. 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 Thank you for the help. I can rest easier knowing those poor soldiers no longer have to suffer.
Hey there. Yeah. Are you sure about that? Maybe it's time for... You know what? Why the hell not? There are plenty of places out there to explore, and I'm kinda tired of being stuck in this house.
Halt! What business have you in Cottonwood Cove, outsider? You wear the mark of Caesar. You must be who Cursor Lucullus is waiting for. You may continue, but be warned. Mark or no, we will not tolerate aggressive action by visitors in the camp. Awe, true to Caesar. Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
Please, sir, take pity on us. Free us, please. My family was ambushed by a pack of Legion raiders near Searchlight, and Frank ran off, the gutless coward. I have no idea where he is, but at least we're free from his abuse. Ever since he lost his job a few years back, he hasn't been the same. He took a switch to us for the tiniest things. We were trying to get away when the Legion showed up. I'm glad he ran off like a coward. But slavery wasn't the kind of escape I was looking for. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Leave while you still can. I see you bear the mark of Caesar. Cursor Lucullus awaits you at the docks. Caesar does not like to be kept waiting. I would find Cursor Lucullus quickly and travel to the fort if I were you. He should still be waiting at the docks.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? I am Cursor Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go? You'll be meeting face to face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor. You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Caesar to take such an interest. The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave.
What's up? Wait a second. What's going on? Am I playing Virgil to your Dante? I'd like to assume that we're tiptoeing into the mouth of hell out of academic curiosity, but I'm not so open-minded that I've lost my brains.
Short of canceling our imminent travel plans, that's the best thing you could have said. Just be careful. If we travel at Caesar's pleasure, he may not let us out as easily as he lets us in.
You may proceed. Your belongings will be returned when you leave.
The legionaries at Nelson were killed to a man. No survivors.
Slaves aren't much of a challenge in the arena.
True to Caesar.
Excuse me.
So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word. I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second-in-command, however. It was unpleasant. He's the best the Legion has to offer, or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man, wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmin simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though. Shoot. No, sir. I'm an independent trader from Arizona. Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off. Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along. All right. Have a look. Thanks. Be seeing you around.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again.
Watch yourself, profligate.
Excuse me.
True to Caesar. Had the legionaries at Nelson been more seasoned, we'd still hold the settlement. The legionaries at Nelson were killed to a man. No survivors. That machine looks like a floating eye. I don't like it. Move along.
I can't wait until they let me fight.
Don't bother me. I'm training to become a full legionary.
True to Caesar. I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
True to Caesar. The new slave girls are quite beautiful. True to Caesar.
I'll wait.
You here to fight in the arena? Then you're talking to the right man. Such as? Light armor and machetes only. The challenger, the one who asks to enter the arena, may be pitted against one or more opponents. All matches continue until one side is dead. No exceptions. I set up the fights, keep track of prisoners available, and make sure the arena's cleaned up. Most of the time, it's some young legionary trying to make a name for himself, hoping to get noticed by Caesar or the Praetorians. We pit slaves or prisoners against each other once in a while, but it's not much of a show. They're usually too reluctant to kill each other. Like what? A great warrior. When he was but a recruit, I watched him kill 10 men in the arena with his bare hands. He doesn't feel pain, and he never ever shows mercy. If all legionaries were like him, the Legion would be invincible. It's not something we like to speak of. The Burned Man was our greatest warrior, even greater than Legate Lanius. But he failed Caesar at the dam. He's been dead for several years now. But the rumor is that Caesar has scouts out looking for him all the same. The Burned Man was a very tough man. Go.
Hey. If you're injured, I might have healing powder to spare. I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. Healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on Xanderroot. Plenty of Brock flowers, though. For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some healing powder every day, but you'd have to be a friend of the Legion. What do you want to know? A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here. 3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught. We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually. All right. A vengeful spirit. Some of the more superstitious women claim. He was a great leader of the Legion before he failed Caesar. The story says he was set on fire and thrown into the Grand Canyon, but his angry spirit rose from the ashes of his corpse, looking for revenge. Nonsense, probably, but there's no doubt that many in the Legion believe he's still alive somehow. The Legate is not a man to be crossed, especially if you're a woman. That's all I'll talk about it. Okay.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again. The camps are getting crowded.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
Outsiders are a rare sight at the fort. Step carefully around here and you might just leave alive. I'm Antony, Master of the Hounds. Lupa. Yes, she's the mother of a lot of our best dogs. She's getting old, but she's still a tough old bitch. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. He's a story to frighten the younger legionaries. He's dead. No man, no matter how tough, could survive a fall into the Grand Canyon. It took years for Caesar to conquer Lanius' tribe, and Caesar showed mercy to the survivors, allowing them to join the Legion. Had the positions been reversed, Caesar would be dead. Lanius is called the Monster of the East, because he never, ever shows mercy. Yeah? We breed them mostly, but sometimes we get some good ones from Denver. That whole city is overrun with them. Been doing it since I was a boy. The mongrels know to listen up when I start talking to them. Okay. Yeah? I've been around dogs all my life. They're my life. Always were. All the way back when I was a tribal. One of the hangdogs outside Denver. Dogs roamed that city. Our tribe made peace with them. Thought they were our spirit animals. Helped us hunt. Provided for us in some lean times. Then the Legion came. Good thing, too. Stronger now. Don't need those beliefs anymore. Yeah? When the Legion showed up, we fought. Most tribes did. Hangdogs hung out longer than most. Broke us by throwing our dogs on the fire. So we gave up. Our elders couldn't bear the idea of our spirit animals burning in the afterlife. Caesar was impressed enough to conscript us. Use our skills with dogs to join the Legion as Hound Masters. Later...
You must enter Caesar's tent alone. Anyone else must remain outside.
Okay. Just don't be gone long. I sunburn easily.
Awe. True to Caesar. Slaves aren't much of a challenge in the arena.
Hold your tongue, wastrel.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my Legion, and yet you dare come before me. The garrison I established at Nelson has been wiped out. Years of meticulous scheming to place a mole at Camp McCarran. Wasted. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Caesar. What were you thinking? Maybe I should have you struck blind so my face is the last sight you ever behold. Look, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You visit the tops, and next thing you know, the head of the chairman is fleeing the strip like a whimpering little pup. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. The time is fast approaching when my Legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 Casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip Benny was carrying when we captured him. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. Benny's theory, if I understood it through all the screaming, was that Mr. House stashed some kind of ultimate weapon down there. A gigantic robot to stomp us all to death. Who cares? Whatever it is, House built it. So I want it destroyed. Yes, but then I'd have to kill them. You don't get it, do you? The weapons I wield are forged from blood, flesh, sinew, bone. Mortal stuff. Fragile, even. And yet my Legion obeys me even unto death. Why? Because they live to serve the greater good, and they know of no alternatives. House's machines, his technologies. What do they propose? The possibility of victory without sacrifice. No blood spilled, just rivets. That's not an idea to be put in circulation. If mankind's going to survive this moment in history, it needs warriors, not gadgets. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My Legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Talk to Benny on your way out. He knows I'm going to let you decide how he dies. Maybe you want to remind him.
Go ahead and laugh, baby. I ain't blind to the humor in this situation. Did I say I blame society? I know why I'm here, baby. Do you? Down to brass tacks. How'd your meet and greet with Baldy go? Try not to smile so wide, baby. You might break your mouth. Yeah, Baldy said you'd get to decide. So which way you leaning? Yeah, to die in my sleep at a ripe old age after a marathon session of hey-hey with 30 sex-star broads. You'll set that up? Look, I ain't a harbor for illusions. I ain't expecting to get out of this shindig alive. That's why I'm trying to hand you my scheme, baby. It's called having a legacy. I know, so many options. How do you choose just one? Sure. Baldy wants you to go down there in the bunker and destroy whatever Mr. House stashed there. Oh, you don't want to do that, baby. Whatever's down in that bunker is the key to the city called Vegas. So here's what you do. You go down there and you use the chip to do whatever Mr. House would have wanted you to do. And when you get back to the Strip, you find Yes Man. I made it so that cat can't help but be helpful. Dig? I'm the most interesting person I know. Now, in the way back, we called ourselves the Boot Riders. Silly name, but that's how we rode the Mojave, dig? On our feet. We were nomadic badasses not to be trifled with. A gang of ruffians, though, with a certain panache. When House gave us the tops to renovate, his robots dropped off boxes full of suits and ties and wingtip shoes. Told us we were the chairman now. That caused an uproar, but I said the name sticks. Chow to the old ways, baby. Time to swing in style. If the shoes fit, you wear them. 7 years. Took over 3 days after Mr. House introduced himself. Our chief at the time, mountain of a guy named Bingo, wanted to stay nomadic. I disagreed, so he challenged me to the knife. He looked so surprised when I stuck that knife in his neck. Thought he was so tough, but he was so slow. That's how I made chief. It's how things were back then. We were east of Vegas when the first Securitron we ever saw rolled up on us. We junked it in a minute flat. The next day, 20 roll up, so we listened. Said we'd been selected. Vegas needed us to defend it. In exchange, we'd get cushy digs, full stomachs, medical treatment. Everything a nomad never gets, in other words. Most of the tribe thought we should say no. I thought it was the best idea ever. I prefer the term relocated. It took every stealth boy I had to cross the river at Cottonwood Cove. That was a close shave, riding a boat full of Legion boys. Once I was across, I changed into a uniform I swiped off a dead legionary outside Nelson. Tried to sneak into the bunker, but that didn't work out. They found the chip. I wasn't gonna tell them what it was used for, but let's just say they were persuasive. Go on. Ta-ta.
Awe. Keep barking and I'll feed you to a dog.
Awe.
What a load of Brahmin shit! Can you believe that guy? A fair point. But from the perspective of someone west of the Colorado, the man is clearly out of his mind. Maybe he didn't intend for things to wind up this way. But that doesn't mean he needs to perpetuate this bizarre anachronistic myth. And it doesn't mean that we should sit by and nod our heads at every absurd, faux Roman casus belli he can dream up. He's a tyrant, the bad kind, and there's no way we're letting him take Hoover Dam.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Lead the way.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
That machine looks like a floating eye. I don't like it.
None may enter without Caesar's permission. None may enter without Caesar's permission.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him. Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
The mark of Caesar protects you.